What's going on, guys? Blackwing 2048 back with another video, and this time I'm gonna be doing something new with my reviews. Of course, you guys know I read comic books. I'm a huge comic book fan. Well, of course, everyone knows that. I'm a huge comic book fan. But anyway, I'm gonna start doing comic book reviews. But before I continue, I'm not a single issue reader. I'm more of a trade paperback person, so I just like having all the issues combined together in one book, and then when I finish that novel, I move on straight on to the next one. So today I'm gonna start off reviewing my favorite collection, Teen Titans. And of course, you guys know I recommended this volume for you guys in my 50 sub video. So if you guys might, I'll leave a link of that in the description below, so just to reminisce your guys' mind. But overall, today we're gonna be reviewing the first trade paperback or first graphic novel. It's called Teen Titans: A Kid's Game, and just by looking at this cover, you know this is really, really good. I know some of you guys are probably staring at Starfire's you know what, but let's get to the topic at hand. But anyway, this book, and I mean not book, this collection is my favorite Teen Titans collection because it started off being written by the one and only legendary Geoff Johns. And Geoff Johns has done many things. He's done Justice League, Green Lantern, Teen Titans, Aquaman, and the list goes on and on. It's just, his work is so beautiful. So anyway, let's talk about this story at hand. But before we talk about this story, we're gonna have to take a trip down memory lane, back to what happened before this happened. So it starts back when Nightwing and Starfire's wedding. Raven actually fell under her father's influence. Yes, you heard me right. Raven fell under Trigon's influence. And from then on, the Titans had no choice but to the Titans found a way to defeat her, and then she became nothing but a spirit, flowing on into the spirit realm. And lastly, the Titans felt another sad defeat against a rogue Superman android, which killed two Titans. Omen, I'm telling you, this android choked the living daylight out of her. It just, like that, you just hear the crack noise and her life was done. And the android also killed one of the first founding members of the Titans, Donna Troy. And when I mean kill, he shot a heat vision right through her chest, right there. And she was on the verge of tearing that thing into scrap metal as well. But anyway, there was a funeral for both of the Titans. Many felt their loss. The team Young Justice, which had Superboy, Robin, Tim Drake, Wonder Girl, Cassandra Sandsmark, and Impulse, deciding to disband the team, and Nightwing decides to disband the Titans after what happened. Until Cyborg decides to do a super cool thing, recreate the team. With him, Starfire, and Beast Boy, they recruit Superboy, Robin, Wonder Girl, and Impulse to join the Teen Titans. One, because they feel like they've been away from each other for such a very long time. And two, they haven't been in contact with each other. They feel like Batman feels like Robin needs to be more close with his friends once again. Wonder Girl has been having trouble going into schools because her identity is known to the public. Superboy starts high school and he's not sure if he could fit in. And with Impulse, Wally West doesn't feel like he could become Kid Flash or the Flash in general. But we all know how that turns out. We already know Bart Allen becomes, the Flash. And I'll get to that. So each of them meet up at Titan's Tower. Wonder Girl meets Beast Boy, and they explain how important being a Titan really is. And sooner or later, an explosion happens on Alcatraz Island, and the Titans sort out the situation. Superboy meets Cyborg, and Impulse decides to go inside to see if there's any citizens left in the facility. But Impulse runs into the Titans' #1 enemy, Deathstroke. And what Deathstroke did to Impulse, he shot his kneecap. I don't know what type of gun it was, but he shot his kneecap. Impulse's kneecap was busting out, like just busting out bleeding. Even though Impulse is a speedster and he has accelerating healing, he told Cyborg that he said, "Cyborg, don't tell the Flash I messed up," because the Flash family is such a connected family. With Barry being gone and Wally taking over the mantle of the Flash, Impulse does not want Wally to know what happened. And so Starfire takes Superboy, Robin, Wonder Girl back to Titan's Tower, and she shows them this memorial room which has every single Titan that died being a Titan. You have a whole lot. You had Terra. We already know Terra was a traitor to both sides anyway. You had Golden Eagle, Wildebeest, Hawk and Dove, and there are many others. Oh, and there was another Titan named Jericho, who apparently, many people may not know this, but Jericho has the power to body jump through anyone. He can, with physical contact, once he has physical contact with you, he jumps straight into your body. But apparently, Cyborg and Beast Boy are at the hospital waiting for results, but until then, Beast Boy smells Deathstroke on the roof, and it turns into an all-out brawl in the streets of San Francisco. But apparently, this Deathstroke already knows who Beast Boy and Cyborg are, and Deathstroke is not Deathstroke. It's actually Jericho controlling his body. Cause what happened was Deathstroke, he actually stabbed his son right through his chest. But apparently, I guess he body jumped right into his father's brain. So now Jericho's controlling Deathstroke's body. And so Robin, Superboy, Wonder Girl sneak out to see if Impulse is okay. But they find out he's gone. And then suddenly they hear this panic at the San Francisco library. And they see stacks and stacks and stacks of books everywhere. And turns out it was Bart who was reading those books. And after that, Bart was no longer Impulse. He was now known as Kid Flash. And my favorite Kid Flash, to be exact. So, the Titans run into the Deathstroke being controlled by Jericho. Then Jericho starts body jumping through each of the Titans' bodies, through Beast Boy, through Superboy. Heck, he even threw a sword at Cyborg's infrared eye, but we all know Cyborg, he can repair himself. But though, happening on the other side of the world, there is a church called the Church of Blood, hence the name Brother Blood. This cult is a group of Trigon worshippers, and they resurrect Raven in a teenage girl's body. So Raven apparently finally returns. So Raven is on the run, searching for the Titans for help, and she was able to see Jericho, and she was able to trap his soul. But we already know Raven; she does very, very crazy things. So she disappeared as well as Jericho. With that being said, Deathstroke disappears, and of course he probably wants revenge of the Titans, what he always wants. So back at Titan's Tower, Superboy and Wonder Girl just try to comprehend on the situation that goes on, and they share a cute little kissy kiss moment until Wonder Woman shows up and she gets mad and tells her to leave with her. Oh my gosh, I skipped the part. I forgot to tell you something. You know how Wonder Woman has a lasso of truth, right? So Wonder Girl is given this lasso by Ares, the god of war, who is supposed to be Wonder Girl's brother. Yeah, that's kind of weird. A supervillain being related to a superhero. But if I'm wrong, you guys can correct me. So the whole Starfire comes in and she tells Wonder Woman to leave, but she doesn't leave. And now it starts with a whole fight between the princess from, what's the word? Tamaran. Look at me, I'm forgetting her own planet. The princess from Tamaran to the princess of the Amazons. And then other Justice Leaguers come out. Superman, Batman, Flash, Green Lantern turns into Justice League versus Titans, and I cannot believe how crazy this turns out. One, because they don't know how to control themselves, and two, some of them don't know the situation. And some of the Titans actually had their mentors on the run. They really had them on the run for their money. And then, who of all people to break up this fight than to be none other than Nightwing? Yeah, Nightwing, the first Robin, broke up the fight between the Titans and the Justice League. How sick is that? That shows you how cool Nightwing really is. So, the Titans are mad because the Justice Leaguers promised that they were giving them their privacy. Even Superboy said this. He doesn't want the Justice League on their backs. He wants them to be their own person. And in order for them to be their own person, the Justice League is going to have to accept that and let them be. So they calmly accept that, they leave, and from then on, there ends the tale. And of course, the Titans wonder what happened to Raven, so that's gonna start up a search for Raven. But anyway, I just gotta say, I love this book. It started my love for well, the show started my love for Teen Titans, but the comic book itself, once I started reading this series, I got hooked, and I read every single volume in this collection. Of course, you guys seen the collection, y'all know what it looks like. But overall, I give this book a 5 out of 5 because I love it has some of my favorite Titans on here. Superboy, Robin, Kid Flash, Beast Boy. And to be honest, this is my favorite, like my all-time favorite Titan group. Like members in general. This is like my favorite group. And sooner or later I'll explain why. Later when I get to doing more reviews. But overall, you guys really need to read this collection. It's a good read. You can find it at any of your if your comic book store has it. You could ask them. If they don't, then of course you're gonna have to go issue by issue. And this series had 100 issues and one annual. So 100 issues plus one annual. So if you guys want to read this volume, get to it. But anyway, that's my review of this comic book. Don't stay tuned for the next review, which will be called Teen Titans Family Lost. So keep an eye out for that review. But until then, I am Vengeance, I am Darkness, I am Blackwing. Stay golden.